Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Playing with Myself. I am your host, Maz, bringing you news, information, and commentary about online multiplayer gaming, or whatever game I happen to be playing at this moment. The game in the background is Guild Wars 2. So this is episode 0 of Playing with Myself, and episode 0s are always weird episodes. They're episodes created largely because, I just don't have an idea of what I'm doing just yet. They're an introduction to the host, they're about content, and they're, of course, about testing my chain of production for the episode itself. So, I'm going to go over who I am, why I'm doing this, how I'm going to do it, and also add in something about some extra information for anybody who happens to be familiar with my work. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I am Maz, as I said earlier. I generally go by Maz something in all the games I play, and I've been gaming for ever since I was a kid. I'm in my early 30s. I'm a software developer, not a game developer, just a software developer, and I've been playing games for as long as I can remember. I played Leisure Suit Larry back on DOS, and I was 10 and had to look up questions to the Nixon administration in encyclopedias just to bypass the age restriction questionnaire. The best thing you had to parental controls for games back in the day. So, oh geez. So, I played DOS games growing up. I was primarily I played Commander Keen, I played Captain Comet, and I played Monkey Island, I played Loom, if you remember Loom. So, I played a lot of DOS games growing up. I also played a lot of console games. Sadly, I was a Genesis kid growing up. That's what my parents thought was the best console to buy. I played Sega all the way up through Saturn, then played N64, and then eventually PlayStation 2. In college, I got back into PC gaming. I did real-time strategy games, first-person shooters like Counter-Strike, Diablo, that kind of thing. And then when I graduated, I eventually got back into other games. I caught the WoW craze, played that for a few years, and now I just play MMOs, other online games, still shooters, some MOBAs, and that's pretty much my gaming habits. I do still play a lot of single-player games, but I'll get to why that's just not something I'll be covering. As far as show content goes, I'm going to be providing news, information, and commentary about a variety of online games that I find while I'm playing. To do this, it's just to help expand my depth of gaming, my passion for gaming, and channel it through an interest in social media that I've had for a while. So I'll be covering MMOs, I'll be covering MOBAs, and I will be covering shooters, when I choose to play shooters. I am going to avoid single-player games, at least single-player games that are heavy on narrative. One of the things about single-player games heavy on narrative is that that's largely content produced by the developer. When I play a game, it's usually a game that I'm playing because I am, it's a single-player game. Usually don't play the story parts for people. And when I play the game, I'm doing it, it's content I generate. And single-player games, generally ones with narrative, is content produced by the developers, and I feel that, putting that on YouTube would do the developers no good, and it wouldn't do me much good, because it's not content I'm producing. I'll get into more depth with the variety of show formats as I introduce them, but expect to get information, first glances at MMOs, MOBAs, and other games again, as I encounter them. I will, however, actually, there is no however. So, moving on from there, if you know me, you might be familiar with a previous endeavor that was called Playing with Ourselves. That was a thing done by Grimmy, and who was a friend of mine, or is a friend of mine. So, I just wanted to cover that Grimmy chose not to pursue Playing with Ourselves for personal reasons. It had nothing to do with any big falling out or anything like that. Grimmy and I are still friends. But as far as the show itself, it was just for personal reasons he chose not to pursue it. Those reasons are his own. I won't elaborate further on them because, again, it's personal. So this has been pretty much a really rough cut, and it'll go online because I have to produce something. I have to put something out there, and I'm hoping that you don't judge me primarily on this show alone. In fact, I'll probably be releasing the first official episode along with this episode at the same time, just for informational purposes. I admit I'm not doing much playing right now. I'm just running around, but I'm trying to get my bearings together to the point where I can play and comment at the same time. It is going to be a learning process for everyone involved, myself included. So I thank you for your patience, and I hope that you can stick with me as I attempt to do this. I would, even if the gameplay is lacking, I promise you that I will do everything in my power to at least make the commentary enjoyable. In fact, I'm probably going to be focusing more on speaking than I am on playing at first, because that's kind of what you're coming here for. If you wanted to see me play, you'd go to Twitch TV, and I'd comment as I was playing whenever I felt like it, but this is supposed to be informational. So, I'm just going to keep talking while we kill this guy. I think I'm a little undergeared for this. It's a pain in the ass. Oh, and that's another thing. I'm going to try to keep this as clean as I possibly can, but I guarantee nothing. I have an honest mouth. I don't have a potty mouth. I try not to curse, especially since I never know who's listening, but there are times that just kind of get me caught back, and to me it's just words, and he's going down rather quickly. So, going back on that, you've been listening to Playing with Myself. My name is Maz. I'll see you next time in episode 1. You can visit me at playingwithmyself.org. Visit me on YouTube at Great Mazinger, or Mazinger_Z on Twitter, or email when I eventually get that up and running. I will probably have email located in the show the next time, or in the next show. I just haven't set up email yet to receive, and I'm not putting my personal email out for this. If you're trying to figure out how to spell Mazinger, NATO phonetic alphabet is Mike, Alpha, Zulu, India, November, Golf, Echo, Romeo. I shouldn't be that hard to find. And again, I'll see you next time.